folks. We had town halls all over the country, and folks said that there were so many different things that they needed from the National Guild during this time. Of course, 2022 was a completely different time than where we are now in 2025. And so we had to make sure that we were taking in a lot of what was happening in the current landscape, whether it's socially, politically, and economically, to make sure that we are fulfilling the needs of the Guild members. And so the reason that we're making these changes is because, one, you all asked for it, right? And we wanted to make sure that we're providing the services, the supports, the resources that you all need to thrive in your communities. And the goal inevitably for the Guild is that you are thriving, right? You're thriving within this community arts education ecosystem. There are a lot of external factors that can determine whether or not we are thriving in our current work. And so we definitely need to make sure that we are creating infrastructure within community arts education so that we can support you as the human you are and as the healer you are in order for you to support your communities. That is the biggest thing about this work. And so that means that we are operationalizing what equity looks like, because again, people need different types of supports, whether they need support as in their position for community arts education, or they just need support and resources for themselves as a human. And so that's where we're really wanting to talk the talk and walk the walk, and be about action. And so right now, what's going to happen is we also are switching our fiscal years. And so what's happening is, in order to create this alignment with our operations, as well as we are creating a membership that is aligned to the fiscal year. And so that also helps with the Guild, just to be very transparent with our financial sustainability as well, because we want to make sure when it comes to our membership, one, that you all are served, that is first and foremost, but then two, that it makes sense for us as we are building out this organization for years to come. And so we are really excited to offer a whole bunch of benefits, a lot of benefits, holistic benefits, that really can support you in a professional way, in a communal way, in a mental way, in an emotional way, in a physical way, so that you can be your best you during any time, any situation that has impacts on our community arts education ecosystem. Next page, please. So again, you all informed these changes. It is from the conversations that we've had during our portal, where we had a lot of town halls, we had webinars, we had surveys that we conducted throughout our strategic planning process. Also, our national partners and stakeholders who are part of this process, our board members, and as well as our staff members and all of the volunteers. So again, we want to thank you all for creating this more holistic and beautiful way to become a member of the National Guild. And I'm going to pass it to Precious, who's going to give us a membership breakdown.
Hi, everybody. I'm Precious. I am going to go back because I'm going too fast. Okay, here we go.
Oh, I can do that, Precious, if you need.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, oh, I'm going too fast. So everyone, my name is Precious Blake. I am the operations and HR director here at the Guild. I've been here for a solid year, so I'm very excited to reveal a lot of what's changed, what's new, what's staying the same, and what we have in store for you. So few things. So when we first started, we had our membership as a pay-as-you-can model. So this was to be responsive to everyone's financial, capacities and capabilities. And we are now moving towards a select as you wish tiered system. So we still want to ensure that equity is at the base of what we do. And so everyone is going to be able to choose which tiers are most financially accessible to them, but there will be very specific tiers versus pay as you can is kind of like left up to you. So there will be still tiers, and you'll still get to choose whichever ones make sense for you. We are also including individual and organization membership. So previously, before we had a vote, only organizations were granted full membership. And full membership means that they had the right to vote on major things like bylaws and board of trustees and really important changes as a guild. Now, individuals are also granted full membership status, and they can also be members in their own right. So we are having no affiliate categories, just membership. And as Quanice had mentioned, we're doing rolling membership. We're moving from rolling membership to a fixed membership cycle. So it's kind of like, open enrollment. Everyone, we want you to become a member at a certain specific time, because not only does it help us plan so we can give you the best quality services, but it aligns with our fiscal year so we can financially plan, we can programmatically plan, and it'll help us set us up for success so we are setting you up for success. So what that means is that everyone's membership renewal dates will be the same moving forward. It will be July 1. So right now, everyone has different dates based off of when you signed up for membership. Maybe it was January, maybe it was February, maybe it was December. But after this full year, it will be July 1 moving forward. And again, we also have some expanded benefits to members that are provided by the Guild ourselves, and then also some of our partners that I'm really excited to talk about. Now, what is staying the same? Again, discounted rates to our programming, professional development, and especially our biannual conference. We will be having still some limited free/public offerings and programs. And of course, access to the Guild's professional networks and online resources is included in membership. That is our bread and butter, and we're keeping that in our portfolio. Next slide. I think I still have to do it. Okay. So membership benefits. So we've got a lot. There's going to be a lot of information. So stay with me. And I think Lisette is also going to put a PDF version of everything that I'll talk about so you can read on your own time. So first, we're going to start with individuals. So individual membership benefits. Like I said, we have 4 different tiers for individuals: love, art, abundance, and liberation. The abundance and liberation tier is our true cost and our redistribution cost price. So what does that mean? The true cost of membership for an individual is $250 a year. That includes paying, facilitators, paying workshop leaders, and operational overhead, materials, the food that we have to get in order to do the conference or in order to, do our meetings that we have regionally. All the things that are necessary for us to move forward in order to provide all this for you. $250 a year is the true cost. Liberation, which is $400 a year, would be a redistribution cost. So if you have access to the financial capability to pay $400 a year, that would actually help us out, because then we would be able to offset anyone who is in the love, art, or needs reduced cost membership, which we can do based off of request. So 80, 120, 250, 400. Those are the tiers that you can select. Now, one of the main benefits is community and connection, right? We don't want to be siloed as a field, and we want folks to be able to connect with folks that are in their field, that is in their region, and have similar goals and advocacy concerns. So if you are a member at all tiers, so all the things that I mentioned here is accessible at every tier. You can join a Unity network or a regional collective, which are, you can build solidarity with place-based or specific professional communities within the community arts education field. You'll still get access to our job board, our newsletter, and also you'll get visibility on our member directory. So individuals would get visibility so people would know who you are. Access to workshop materials and resources in our online membership hub. You could also be a Unity Network leader. So if you're looking for volunteer opportunities to really, lead and make your voice heard, we would love to have a Unity Network or a regional collective leader. You'd be able to apply for that. And you can kind of lead the conversations and critical discussions either in your region or within your specific field of study. And then other individual membership benefits is professional learning benefits. So again, invitations to exclusive members only webinars. You still will get your discounted rates to Guild year-round programs like our conference, like Kaylee, and like our new and improved Essentials program series. Now, this is new that we just added recently. As an individual, you'd also get customized one-to-one coaching/consultation with a Guild trustee per membership year. So if you're an individual and you have, a problem or a challenge, We have some amazing, amazing Guild trustee members who are experts in so many different areas. So you'll be able to just have a sit down conversation with them included in your membership. So at the very first tier, you'd get an hour per year. Art, abundance, liberation, 1, 2, or 3 or 5 hours. So if you really want to invest in your professional development and maybe have a little bit of a coach, this would be included in your membership. And then we also have some partnerships. So folks who are also offering services on behalf of the Guild as their own individual business. So you'll have discounted rates and services to those workshops. But also what we're really excited about, which I'm really excited about, is that for the first 70 individuals who sign up, you will get access to the Guild Employee Assistance Program. So just as Quanice had mentioned, we want to really be in a space where we're tending to your holistic health, and that includes your professional development, that includes your mental health, your physical health, your legal health, your financial health, and all of that. And so with this employee assistance program, while it's not necessarily insurance, it is also a way in which you can get support for daily life things that come up. So that includes mental health counseling. You get I think, 2 free sessions per issue, per problem. You can get access to financial education, legal counsel, personal and professional learning, and also access to pretty popular wellness apps, BetterHelp and Talkspace. And those apps are not free, but it would be free if you are an individual and you're one of the first to sign up under the EAP. So everyone at every level would get access to this. And as well for advocacy, you'd be able to vote on critical National Guild policies like bylaw amendments and who is the new slot of board members and trustees. And you'd also be able to help with our advocacy efforts, whether that's coming to our National Advocacy Day or attending our advocacy briefings. So if you really want to support Quanice and our advocacy team to really make change on both local, citywide, statewide, and especially nationwide, you'd have the opportunity to step into leadership in that way. So organizational membership benefits kind of mirrors individuals with some tweaks. So again, we have 4 tiers, starts at 500, ends at 4,000. Our true cost price is $2,500 a year for organizations, and our redistribution cost at the evolution tier is $4,000 a year. So for each level, you would get the opportunity to add up to 5 employees who can get access to all these benefits. So employees, staff members, community stakeholders, whoever you decide is considered an employee for your organization. And at the highest tiers, transformation, evolution. If you're part of a larger organization that needs more than five employees under your membership, you can add more employees by request, just by messaging Claire, probably, our membership, our data evaluation director. So community and connection benefits the same as individuals. So you can join a Unity network, you'll get access to our online tools, workshop materials, you can become a Unity or network leader, Unity network or a regional collective leader. So again, really making sure that organizations, small, medium, and large, of all different varieties are getting the support and help they need. So you're not working within silos, but you're looking to your neighbors and you're looking to people who are either facing the same challenges or also having the same joys. And how can you support one another in that endeavor? So benefits, pretty similar to individuals. So you'll still get access to exclusive members only webinars. You'll still get discounted rates to our programs. And you will still get customized organizational coaching, but it's going to be for the whole organization versus just one person. So kind of like with the individuals where it was one-to-one coaching, this is one-to-organization coaching. And again, our Guild trustee members are graciously offering their expertise to support in this way. So it goes from 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And if you are at the evolution tier, you'd also get access to consultation with Dr. Quanice Floyd, who's on the call. So if you have some organizational challenges or just issues or, problems or that you really want to get solved, or you just want to pick her brain, you would be able to do that in the evolution tier. And then member benefit partnerships, you also still get discounted rates to services and workshops. At this time, the EAP is only available for individuals and in the individual membership. And the same for advocacy. You'll vote on important policies, and you'd also be able to support and help our advocacy efforts. Now, with these tiers, you may be asking, well, Precious, how do I know which tier is for me, right? Because one, you can choose any tier you want. That's number one. You can always choose whichever tier makes the most sense for you. But to, again, really kind of operationalize what we mean by equity, we were really thinking about, well, what tiers make most sense for folks, especially when it comes to social determinants of health. So we do have a self-selection guide. So there's several questions on this page that I'll read through. And based off of these, you'll be able to determine which tier is kind of for you. So are you an independent artist or creative? Is most of your income from the gig economy? Do you have savings of $500 or less? Do you worry about paying your bills on time? Do you have significant debt? Is English your second or third language? Is your education level less than or equal to a high school diploma? Are you uninsured or underinsured? Are you part of the global majority? Do you have unstable housing? Are you part of the LGBTQIA plus community? Do you have a disability? Are you a caretaker of other people? Have you or your family been impacted by incarceration? Do you feel isolated in your career field? Do you live in a rural area? And are yearly vacations, occasional breaks from work inaccessible to you? And are mental health services inaccessible to you? So based on how often you say yes is where we would suggest which tier you go to. So if you said yes in your mind to most of these, you probably should choose the lowest tier. If you say yes to about half, the art tier is probably where you should go. And if you say yes to half, less than half, and almost none, probably the higher tiers is where you should fit. But at the end of the day, this self-selection guide does not fully encapsulate all of who you are as a person. So if you know that technically you went through this little quiz and you're in the art tier, but you can only afford the love tier at this moment in time, that's fine. If you go through this and technically you're at the love tier, but you know that you can really get to the abundance tier because that would really support the guild and you want to do that work, more than happy to do that too. It is still your choice at the end of the day. And here's the self-selection guide for organization. So this is basically, it's based on organizational health things. So what's your budget? Who's employed? Is it volunteer? Or, how much does your highest paid employee get paid? And is there a professional development budget? We also want to make sure that for folks that are within a larger institution, that you do this self-selection guide based off of your specific program and department. So if you're a part of, a government entity or a much, much larger nonprofit or entity whose, budget is in the millions, but your budget is much, much smaller, you'd consider your specific program and department's budget. This can really help with, people who are a part of colleges and higher institutions too. So here's our member benefit partners. There's 10 of them, and I am so excited to walk through all of these. So they encapsulate all different types of work, of expertise. They're all going to be having webinars soon. So, we've got a grant maker on the call. We have a graphic designer. We have someone who's offering crisis planning for organizations. We have a wellness coach and a social worker and a licensed therapist. We have strategic planning consulting and support with Zuli. We also have individual wellness and body consciousness and body positivity with Dr. Nicole Avant and Avant Consulting, and also racial equity coaching for organizations. Valerie, a creative agency, they're also offering marketing and branding support. Joseph Arnold is a certified Alexander Technique teacher. And so really the somatic practices of how you can really stay in your body and also acknowledge how stress and anxiety is showing up and how you can move it out. That's really important for us because your body is important, it's a part of you. And we really want you to be able to tap into yourself. We also have Art Center Canvas, which is offering discounted services to their software and also to their IT and tech programming. And of course, we have our EAP that is offered by the ESI group. So these are our practitioners. We're super, super excited to have webinars that's focused on each individual person or organization so you can get to know them and all their services. And I believe Lisette either already put it in the chat or is about to put it in the chat that kind of lists out all of their services and how much they cost, and then also how much discounts they're giving. So that was one thing that we really wanted to ensure that, one, this is as financially accessible as we can get it, and that these folks are really offering services that are in alignment with all the things that we learned in the past 2 or 3 years of what the field needs. And they have all risen up to the challenge, and they're super excited to start working with all of you. So I'd say also save the dates. So we've got a lot of webinars coming up. Right now, we're at the first one, April 8th, 12 p.m. ET. But for the next few weeks, we're going to have several more webinars. So we'll focus on our center Canvas is first up. So they're going to talk about how to increase enrollment and donations with data-driven marketing campaigns. We're going to have a double feature with Mighty Mighty and Joseph Arnold. They're going to be talking about essential self-care practices and crisis planning tools for both individuals and organizations. That's pretty relevant right now as we're always cycling through some crisis of some sort. Then we'll have our EAP orientation. So and this is really for individual members only. So we'd really encourage folks who are interested in individual membership to attend this orientation so you can learn about all the things that EAP can offer. And then we'll have our grant maker on the call, one-to-one advisory. They're going to talk about pro tips from a former funder. And, you'll get to know all the different things that they have to offer for your organization. And even if maybe you're an individual and you're interested in applying for grants as well, you can have some of her services too. So that's for April. And of course, there's so much more. And we also have some member hours that are coming up where you can just talk to the staff and get some insight, give us some feedback, and we can incorporate that in our membership planning. And then I'll hand this to Quanice to talk about what Pay It Forward means.
Awesome. So for those of us, as we are trying to navigate different situations in the world, one of the things that I am really rooted in the work that we do at the Guild is rooted in is making sure that we're supporting others, whether that's through mutual aid or mutual support. And so we decided to create a Pay It Forward program for those who might be wanting to help support and pay it forward to others within the ecosystem. And so this is a program that folks can really just either cover someone's individual membership, or if an organization wants to help support another organization's membership. And so this covers the membership costs for anybody. If you all have folks who are interested, that you're interested in bringing to the Guild, and they might not be able to afford the Guild, or they might need reduced fees to the Guild, and you're interested in helping support that, please feel free to reach out to us. And we also have a donation link that will be sent out and put into the chat for us to support those who might need additional support for membership. Again, this is about creating this kind of full network, this full ecosystem of us supporting us during these difficult times. And so creating pathways for this is another option and another way that the Guild wants to make sure that we're giving back to folks, to make sure that we are being accessible to everyone. Awesome. So if you want to sign up for this year's this upcoming year's membership, which starts July 1, we will be sending out an email immediately after this webinar so that you can start being on, I guess it's considered a wait list or interest list. I don't know the exact wording of it, but the membership will be beginning in July 1, and it'll go until June 30th of 2026. So if you're interested in signing up, please be sure to fill out the form once we send the email out immediately after this webinar. Next slide, please. And we're just going to do some frequently asked questions. So next slide. And I could take questions. I could take the first one because I didn't take the last time. I messed up last time.
No problem.
So I am not a current member. What if I want to sign up for membership after July 1? So because this is a brand new membership model, we will be prorating folks based on their membership. And so for those who are currently not members, but you're not able to sign up quite at July 1, we have prorated rates. So as the quarter keeps moving on, the rate also keeps moving on. So if you sign up between within the first quarter of quarter one for fiscal year 26, which is July 1 to September 30th, you'll get a 25% off rate. If you do October through December, that'll be a 50% off rate. If you start signing up in 2026, it'll be a 75% off, because what's going to happen is once July 1 comes back around again, you will be at the full rate. So we want to make sure that you all are also understanding that, we are adhering to our July 1 membership model, membership calendar, membership year, all of that. And we want to make sure that you know that we're not just going to frivolously just charge you as soon as July 1 comes in. We understand that everybody's financial situations are different, everybody's fiscal years are different. So if you all are not necessarily able to pay immediately for July 1, if you might need to pay in the fall of 2025, then that is okay. We will give you a prorated rate for that process. And what if I'm a current member and my renewal is due in 2025? Well, if you are a current member, we will legacy you into this new current membership model. And legacy means that you will roll into it. So if you have currently paid this year for your membership is still absolutely valid. But just know in July 1 of 2026, you will roll into the new membership rate. So I said 2026 because 2025 is taken care of already if you've already paid. So just to clarify that, 2020, if you paid this year for your membership, you are already cleared for 2025. You will be legacied into the membership model in 2026. FAQ, I'm going to say the next question. Sorry, next question.
Yeah, and just for clarity, so it's both and. So if your renewal date was Jan 1, Feb 1, or March 1, you will stay in your membership as is, but when your renewal date comes up next year, you'll pay 50% of whatever tier you select, so you can get into the cycle next time. So just FYI. If your renewal date is basically right now, so April 1, May 1, June 1, you have two options. You can stay legacied, meaning you can renew your membership as the pay-as-you-can rate that it is right now. But then when your membership becomes due next year, April 1, May 1, June 1, 2026, you'll then pay 25% of whatever prorate. So then again, this is all to get everyone into the same cycle, no matter what. So we're offering this prorated option because everyone's renewal dates are on different dates. But what you could also do if your renewal date is right now is that you'd let your membership lapse for about 2 to 3 months and just sign up during our open enrollment period, which is happening right now. And your new membership will just take effect starting July 1 of 2025. So we do have some programming things coming up and things of that nature. You can make the determination if it would make sense for you to stay legacied or just let it lapse. It's up to you whether you want to be in the new membership cycle immediately right now as it is, or if you want to wait and you can get into the membership cycle next time. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
Yep.
And what if I'm a current member and my renewal is due in 2025? And so that means that you will be put into this new membership model. If your renewal date is July 1, August 1, or September 1, you would basically renew sooner. And so you all will receive different letters. Everybody gets a letter when it's time for their membership to renew. But currently, we want to make sure that we are rolling you into the July 1, 2025 model. If your renewal date is October, November, or December, you will stay in membership currently as is, and you'll be legacied into this new membership. So there'll be a prorate as for that, but moving forward, as of July 1, 2026, everybody will have the same membership date, just as Precious said. So we're just kind of rolling people into it, to give folks that time and that space, because we know, again, everybody's budgets is not the same, everybody's fiscal years aren't the same. So we're trying to give folks time to fully roll into the membership model. And Precious, you want to take this one because you articulate this a lot better than I can.
Sure. So this is the first time that we're having individuals and organizations who are a part of the process of voting. And this has come up before, and it was such a great question. So just for clarity, what if my organization can't reach consensus for voting? So we often do votes at least once a year, or at least during our annual meeting. Every organization can have up to 5 employees or more, but only one person is actually designated to be the official voter. That doesn't mean that person makes the vote or makes the decision on behalf or for the organization. So like they're the person who makes it and they don't talk to anyone else. They're just voting on behalf. So they should be getting consensus from all employee members and communicates that decision to the guild. So that person can be the ED, that person can be the billing person, it can be somebody else. Whoever is the primary contact is going to be the one who needs to vote for the organization. But if you're having trouble reaching consensus and you're like, oh, we've never really had to do that before, or maybe we can't do it in time, how do we do that? Reach out to us. There's plenty of different ways that you can build consensus and decision making. We try to give people at least 2 weeks to a month for major votes and decisions, so you have time. But this is also really a great way to practice collective decision making, which is a part of kind of that advocacy muscle that we're adding as a part of our work. So another question is, well, why do individual and organizational members even get equal voting power? So just as a recap, if you all aren't aware, so on March 24th, 2025, the Guild passed a bylaw amendment that does allow individual members to receive full voting rights. One individual vote will count the same as one organization vote. And each organizational member gets one vote for any bylaw amendments or new board of trustees. So one person, one vote, one organization, one vote. And again, why are we doing this? Because we want to give all members equal voting weight on critical decisions. And we want people to really be involved and have a direct say in shaping the Guild's future as we wax and we wane and we move and we change and we shift and we pivot. We want you all to be a part of the ride.
And just to give some historical context, prior to that bylaws change that you all voted for, individual members did not have any vote within the Guild. It was only full membered organizations who had a vote.
Correct. Now, that also brings up the question of, well, would the Guild consider allowing more votes per organizations in the future? And the answer is maybe. We don't know. That would be determined based on member feedback and needs, our internal administrative capacity, because we'd have to switch up our internal systems and data collection systems in order to do that. And it would require another bylaw vote that now includes individuals and organizations. And again, organizations can be, it doesn't just have to be 501c3s. It can be just any organization that has like an EIN, if that makes any sense. So if you have an EIN of some sort, an employer identification number, if you're S Corp, B Corp, an LLC, you know, a business, a 501c3, a 501c4, you are considered co-op. Thank you. I was like, I know I'm missing one and I should know that I'm a part of co-op. If you're an organization and the government knows who you are considered an organization. If you're an individual, meaning like you are only one singular person, you're the only person who is in charge of your business, even if you have an LLC, we're going to consider you an individual. So if you have questions on like, which one am I really, you can always ask staff and we can help you determine whether you're in which category. So this was a lot that we just spit out at y'all. And so we know that you might have more questions and we're going to have some time for Q&A. But if you still have questions and you just want to talk to some of us, we are available. So Lisette is on the call, Claire is on the call. if you are a current member and you have questions, Lisette and Claire are your go-to people. So you can book a time to meet with them at this bit.ly link. And then I'll be taking on the new and prospective members. So if you sign up or you're thinking about signing up, but you're not sure and you just have some more questions, you can just head to my Calendly and we can have a chat. The staff is also going to be available through the month of May through June for kind of open hours. And we're going to have some curated open hours. So the first one is on May 9th. It's kind of the individual FAQ. So if you are an independent artist, an independent person, community arts education practitioner, and you're interested in individual membership, whether you're a current member or you're new, you should come to May 9. Also, Katie Rainey from the Teaching Artists Guild is going to be joining us and talking about tag updates, which is going to be really exciting for us to share with you all. May 23rd, we're going to talk about community and collective building. So I think it was this past year we revealed our new networks and collaborative networks called the Unity Networks and the Regional Collectives. And so we'll talk a little bit more about what the Unity and Collective Networks mean. And also, if anyone wants to step up into leadership and help kind of coordinate and lead the discussions, not necessarily lead, I'm sorry, but more so make sure that everyone feels heard and that conversations and work is getting accomplished with that network, whatever the work looks like or whatever the discussion should be. And then June 14th is all about the organization. So please, if you are an organization, come join us June 14th, whether you're current or you're new. And then we're going to end as an open general drop-in. So whether you're individual, whether you're an organization, whether you're interested in the collective networks or something completely off base that I forgot to say, come in at that general member FAQ. All staff will be available and we can answer some of your questions and receive some of your feedback. So yeah, so again, please look out for our member benefit webinars in April. I believe that there will be a registration link soon in the chat. So if you want to sign up for the member benefit webinars, you can. And yes, by the end of day today, you will get a email from somebody. It'll either be me or Lisette or Claire through our means. So you can sign up for membership for the FY26 year. And that's all they wrote, folks. Thank you so much. We now have open space for thoughts, questions, ruminations for anyone on the call. You can either shout it out or say something in the chat. We can look at that.
There's a question on the chat. How do these tiers translate to conference fees and registration for the conference? So that's a great question. Typically, what we have is we have member and non-member fees for conference. So my assumption is that we will still continue to do that. So you all would get as a member, you would get the discounted rates for conference. I want to go back to some of the questions that were earlier in the chat that were answered in the chat, but I do want to share them aloud just in case. Are organizational tiers required to have 501c3 designation, or can they also be other types of groups like commercial and social groups? Precious answered that earlier. You do not have to be a 501c3, but you should be recognized as a collective of people. So whatever that looks like for you, as an organization, that's how you identify yourself as an organization. But if you are strictly an individual, then you will be an individual.
Yeah. And just to be clear on that, so individuals could have EINs. I didn't make that clear. But if you are like an individual sole proprietor member of a business, you probably are an individual because, again, you are not working with a collective of people to do your work. You're working by yourself, even if you might even contract or employ others. So again, if you look at the self-selection guide and you can kind of answer the self-selection guide for individuals over the one for organizations, you're probably an individual.
Mm-hmm. Then it says, are these tiers able to be paid over time in installations, or should they be paid at one time? And then Claire answered that we can definitely support installments. So if you have any questions, please email membership@nationalguild.org, and we can also help with that as well.
Yeah, that's great.
What if you were a former member and considered coming back? Would that mean you're applying as a new member? That's a great question.
Hmm.
You would be a returning member. You just have a great, like a gap period of your membership. So you would be a returning member. So Claire, just keeping note of that. If we have any folks who have any gaps, then it would still be considered a renewal because you were a member at one point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And again, the renewal rates are for, they end up being the same for everyone. So it doesn't cost more to be
Okay.
a new member or to be a current member. All of the different pro rates are just to level everyone out. So everyone's in the same playing field once we get to July 1. So hopefully that was made clear. If not, I can clarify it even more.
So your
Uh,
question.
yeah.
Awesome. So how are you all feeling? Are you liking these changes? I mean, we did it for you. So I hope you like the changes that you all suggested. But if there's any other, thoughts, questions, please feel free to share if you want to put in the chat or if you want to unmute. We're always open to having conversations. And I think
Mhm.
I saw a recommendation earlier that said more male partners for benefits and older elders.
Yeah, that's a great thought. And we are super open to having our membership partner lineup, cycle and change based off of member feedback. So super, super open. So if you have a particular person or entity in mind that you think should be a part of the membership, benefit partner lineup next time, please feel free to share. We totally want to include that and investigate that.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning. So we're just starting off here. This is our I guess the floor, and we're trying to take it bigger and better um for our membership. So yeah.
Mm.
Thank you, Keith.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. So just to clarify, also, if you all have any questions, because this is a lot of information to process, this will also be a recording and we will post this. So if you want to ever refer back to the conversation, you can reach out to us. You can refer to the video. Like, we are accessible. We are here. If you have any questions, you can email membership@nationalguild.org. Feel free to sign up for one-to-ones with Lizette, Claire, or Precious. Like, there's so many touch points that we have that we want to make sure that you all are comfortable and all of your questions are answered. So we're here for you. And thank you all for all of the work that you all do as healers within the community arts ecosystem. I always say that the Guild is moving towards healing the healers, and that's what the work is. That's what we're working towards every single day. So thank you all for doing the work for your communities. All right, so it looks like we'll see you all at all of our membership webinars. That's what it sounds like. We'll see you throughout April, May, and June for the next couple of weeks.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you.